So, Alexander, thank you very much for joining Energy Live News, especially in this very, very difficult situation and times for the Ukraine. Of course, I would like to start and ask you, what's the situation right now in the country?
I think everybody knows that situation is extremely dangerous for today. And as an example, today night, from 2 hours and 20 minutes after midnight till the 7:30, they were almost whole the country. But as I know, so much damages were bring for this night as the night before. As you know, the Yavoriv armed forces base was attacked yesterday night.
Alexander, there was an announcement from the Renewable Association of Ukraine that said that half of renewables are under threat right now in the Ukraine. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
As we know, and our colleagues share the information about the wind energy in Ukraine, I think that 2/3 of total installed capacities for wind power didn't produce the electricity. I think maybe a week ago, starting from the week ago. Regarding to the solar power plants, solar generation, I think the situation is much more better, but we know a lot points of the majors of substations, of distribution grids and transmission grid, and that's a big problem for supply to this generation. Even if the solar power plant can generate, they cannot supply it to the grid.
So just to understand and clarify, which is the biggest problem for renewable energy projects to generate electricity right now? Is it because there is, these forces that they capture substations and, of course, the infrastructure cannot work properly? Or is it something else?
I think it's the damages of the grids, the main problem. And today we have such an information that some stations are already damaged by the missiles or some other weapon. As for wind energy, I think the main problem is that they cannot maintain up to date. And of course, it's a big project. It's much more dangerous situation on the wind power plants as solar power plants. But I repeat that the main problem, of course, it's a grid. It's the measures of the grid.
Which is your opinion regarding, the impact that this war will have on energy security for Ukraine?
I think it's a simple answer on this question. It's a great impact on the energy security, but we heard and today already the Minister of Energy and the head of the TSO of Ukraine remind that the energy system of Ukraine works in proper way, and we still have an opportunity to give the light to all the houses or to all the non-household customers. But of course, the problem is the same. We need to protect our grid from the massive attacks of Russian occupiers.
As the chairman of the Ukrainian Association of Renewable Energy, I guess that you are communicating with many developers, many operators of renewable energy projects. Can you tell us which are the main concerns of these people regarding the situation, regarding this war?
I think that mostly the Ukrainian investors and I think the foreign investors think as Ukrainian investors today is just to save the more lives as they can. The majority of investors do their best to help, maybe not by giving the people to the armed forces for Ukraine, but as volunteers as investors in humanity, if I can say so. We know that our members that have steel construction production previously for building the solar power plants, today they make such products for army, for our forces. We call them hedgehog, if it's right in
Yeah.
English.
And what does it
Just to
mean?
stop the moving the tanks or other process vehicles.
So if I understand well, all these developers, all these people that were working in the industry, in the renewable energy industry, right now they are trying to save lives of Ukrainians and help the army just, to defend against this opposition in this war. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely right. And of course, every single plant that generates electricity is a critical infrastructure. And they ask the government, and I think the government heard them, that they need the minimum people to be on this station. They need to operate them to give the electricity into the grid. And we know that Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine have such document that says that some people should be reserved on these generation capacities or supply capacities or distribution capacities to give the electricity to the customers. And of course, these people shouldn't be voted to the armed forces of Ukraine.
It has been reported that Russians have seized nuclear power stations like Chernobyl and Zaporizhia. What do you think is the main purpose of these actions?
I think the main purpose of these actions is to hold the people of Ukraine in such a dangerous situation that they can do something that should damage the nuclear stability of the region and to give some explosions. But as I said before, the Minister of Energy and the head of nuclear power plants in Ukraine, Mr. Kotin, said that the nuclear radioactive situation in these regions and of course in whole Ukraine is sustainable. And today, I think even yesterday, Neko Koronenko, the transmission system operator of Ukraine, confirmed that the electricity supply to the Chernobyl station will be fixed or were fixed. And I think that the second part of this action is that they want to damage the energy security of Ukraine. Of course, the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant is the biggest one in Europe, and they can give 6 gigawatts into the grid, but today they cannot do that.
We every day hear about sanctions that other countries impose, financial sanctions on Russia and on Russia oil and gas companies specifically. What do you think about these actions, and what other measures do you think that are necessary to be taken from other countries?
I'm not the expert in this question, but I think that the whole world should occupy the Russian Federation by the sanction. As much as they can do, as much as that can do every single company, every single buyer or supplier of any kind of goods to the Russia should stop them. They must see that the whole world is together now and stands for Ukraine. That's my short message for this question. And of course, the oil and gas suppliers of Russia and all these things is maybe more powerful weapon in this war than the weapon as it is.
My final question for you, Alexander, is what's the situation in terms of the power supply and the electricity generation in cities that are worst hit by Russian attacks? I speak specifically for Kiev and Mariupol, because we know that citizens in these two cities live without power for many days now. How difficult is for these people to live under these circumstances?
I can't even imagine how difficult it to live today in Mariupol. I think it's. I can't have any words of about that situation, and of course, it's hard even to give them some help in goods to the Mariupol. And we see that the last week our government, president, and every single volunteer do their best to give this green line to the Mariupol, but they didn't get to the final destination. And of course, talking about the electricity supplies or gas or heat, the situation is very difficult, and I think it won't be fixed in today or maybe tomorrow. The main idea, the main goal of every single people in Ukraine today should be how to leave the Mariupol from the civil people. And talking about other regions, we heard that from day to day, the DTEC or some other company that supply the electricity in any region fixed the grids and tried to give the electricity to the final customer. I think they do. I think every single man, every single woman, and every single company, it doesn't matter as big as this company, do their best today to help other people, other companies, and other Ukrainian citizens.
Alexander, thank you very much for your time. It was really a pleasure talking to you. Good luck and stay safe.
Thank you very much. And Slava Ukraini!
Heroia Slava!